How far would you go, and what would you do to earn a large fortune? Tonight on the Conspiracy Collective, we will give you a chance to meet the Russian Countess Demidoff. And if you're brave enough, she might just give you that opportunity. So sit back and relax and enjoy our story time. Good evening, everyone. This is the Conspiracy Collective with Jill and Joe, your two favorite conspiracy theorists. And tonight we're going to do a little story time. We're going to tell you about the Russian Countess Elisabeth Demidoff.
Oh, is this going to be a good one?
So this is going to be one that I want to know what you would do for $1 million.
Oh, I mean, like for a Klondike bar?
So let me tell you the story.
All right, I'm listening.
All right, so there's a French cemetery in France that was founded in 1804, and it has a multitude of celebrities in it, from Oscar Wilde to Jim Morrison. Just recently, George Michaels was buried there, and it houses the Russian Countess Elisabeth Demidoff. And she came from an industrial family from Russia. They made their money from salt and fur. She got married to a man named Nikolai Demidoff. They were married for a while, and unfortunately they separated. So after they got divorced, she moved to Paris. And eventually she died pretty young. She died at 40 in 1818, sorry. And in her last request, she put some stipulations, which are a little bit odd, but they still stand to this day. And basically, for 1 million francs, you would have to spend 365 days in her mausoleum.
What?
Mm-hmm. So, here are the stipulations if you are currently interested, which no one has been able to fulfill this crazy wish of hers, and no one's claimed the money, so it's still up for grabs.
Was she lonely when she was growing up, or what? I mean,
I don't know. Maybe she just wanted to have a lot of visitors during her eternal rest. I don't know.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
So she wanted you to stay in her mausoleum, which she's.
So this is where where her dead
Correct.
body is.
And
In
in Paris. Okay.
In the cemetery.
And I guess
bodies.
it sits on a really high, tall part of the cemetery, so it actually overlooks a lot of Paris. And it's one of the most beautiful, I guess, and ornate mausoleum that there is in the cemetery. Even though the cemetery is very, very famous and very beautiful, this one in particular is, they spared no expense on it. So when you walk into the mausoleum where she is laying eternally interned in the middle of the room, she's in a glass coffin. Okay. So the entire area is surrounded by mirrors. So no matter what angle, no matter where you sit, you will always have a view of her body.
I mean, she sounds rather plain.
She needs your attention. She's kind of an attention whore.
It would be an absolute attention whore. Like, all mirrors on me. I'm in the best mausoleum here in the cemetery. And I want you just staring at me for 365 days. I feel like this is something I would request when I die.
But do you have the money to back it?
I would give him, a Big Mac or something, or some coupons.
Okay.
Because just being there would be worth it.
Well,
being near me, I would say.
Well, and
are there furnishings?
I don't know about the furnishings
other than mirrors.
About that. But you cannot have any diversion. Okay, the only thing that you can do while you're sitting in her tomb is read. And read by funeral light at the head of the coffin. That's the only lighting that's in this darkened mausoleum.
I really feel like this is every woman's dream.
And you can.
Every woman has this dream that they want to, when they die, have their lover just sit there and stare at them for 365 days nonstop.
Well, and you can never exchange another word with another person for those 365 days. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
I think maybe she didn't get the attention she needed in her life, and this was an opportunity for it, and it still hasn't happened. Do you see how unreasonable women are?
Even in death. and not even you can't even exchange any sort of conversation, nothing, with the one person who once a day brings you food. One time a day. So there's someone that's, delegated to bring you food and to dump your waste because there's no bathroom in the mausoleum.
I really want to talk to those guys. I want to talk to whoever is on retainer.
Yeah.
And say, is this legit? And I want to talk to them and say, yeah, well, we have this guy here. And when you do this is what he's going to do. He's going to go bring you some food. These are the meals you're allotted. That's what I want to talk to. And
what else? Let's see. Oh.
That's like Back to the Future stuff. Like when the doc disappears and he pays a guy to show up on a random day, random rainy night in the middle of a road to go meet Marty. It's just so weird.
But you do get to get your exercise because only in the evenings, once the gates of the cemetery are closed, or very early in the morning, that's when you can leave the mausoleum and take a stroll around the cemetery grounds.
Oh. So she gives you yard time. That's nice. That's nice. She gives you a little yard time, get out, stretch your legs, but then get back to me.
Well, quickly. I mean, you have a job. One job. And that's to pay attention to her. And that's it.
I can't pay attention to women on a regular basis. Even if there's $1 million involved.
You took this You
know.
decided to date them. You
Well,
decided to go to
even the $1 million.
Mausoleum.
The only benefit of this scenario is that she doesn't talk. And she's not nagging or big or any of that stuff.
You never know. She might. So
if she comes from the afterlife, I'm out.
Well, I guess there have been some people that have tried to.
Oh, so people have tried.
They have, and they have yet to be fulfilled. I think the longest anyone's gotten is less than a week, and I think that the person that was there the longest was driven mad. So they had to go. Apparently, they left talking crazy and had to be put into some sort of sanitarium for a while.
I mean, that sounds like most relationships nowadays. A guy spends a significant amount of time with a woman, and he just goes fucking nuts. Is it open to men and women?
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
I wonder if she had friends.
And let's see. That this is like total lore that she was a vampire, or she is a vampire, and that they put this out there so that people who would willingly come to her crypt could eventually, get eaten by her. So they actually refer to her as the vampire Baroness of Paris.
Oh, it just gets deeper. So you're suggesting I spend a year with a vampire?
I'm just saying, if you want to make it's like a get rich quick scheme.
Oof, that's not quick though, man. That's a whole year.
What else are you gonna do? The year goes by so fast.
I mean, I don't know. I could go out to McDonald's.
You could have it brought in.
Around.
I mean, we're in quarantine as it is. It's not that different.
Well, what am I gonna do without the internet for a whole year?
Yeah, they didn't have that.
More importantly,
they probably don't have Wi-Fi or anything in there. So
I'm just saying, more importantly, what are you going to do without me for a year? That's the real question.
Well, I mean, you could.
It would be a challenge.
Yeah. You could have some really good conversations with her.
No, I don't. I mean, maybe. But she died when she was 40. What all did she do until she was 40? No?
She was.
I mean, does she have a lot of interesting stories? Maybe. I mean, 365 days worth?
Maybe. So, there you go. So would you do it? Would you go and question and look into the possibility of you wanting to stay with the Countess?
I would definitely look into it. Like, if I had nothing else on my plate, I would definitely look into it. I would probably be the idiot that walks out talking gibberish, but I would at least give it a shot. I think I could probably go longer than a week.
Okay.
Depends on the books. If I had good books.
And you could have them, bring in different ones.
But if I could only go strolling at night in the graveyard, I would probably freak out anyway. So I'd be a little tense. Oof. Oh,
well, and I guess there's one person that had tried it and he died of a heart attack. So, and I guess the mausoleum itself is full of weird symbols. So, and there's a knot, I guess, in the marble somewhere that has some sort of it's like a reference to a magical knot. For the Greek, it means the knot of Hercules, and it's considered to be the link between life and death. There's also some bat symbols on the grave site and around the grave. And the other thing I thought was interesting is the number 8 is prevalent on her tomb as well as, which means, because 8 is like infinity. And
well, she died in 1818, right? Oh boy.
Then I also have read that the number 8, just like 666 is the mark of the beast, 888 is the symbol for some people for vampires.
Really? So she's a vampire.
I mean, I'm not saying she is. I'm just saying, like, that's just the research that I found. Allegedly. She's allegedly.
Well, she has... Who has mirrors and once she has spent 365... She's a vampire. She's a psychopath vampire.
Allegedly.
She wants to suck the blood out of anybody that's in there, and she drives them mad because she's probably annoying, and they run out just crazy.
Right. So...
Why are women so crazy?
I mean, well... She's looking for the right one, because here's the thing. What happens at the end of 365 days, 366 nights? Is she going to, like, all of a sudden wake up? Has she been drawing a little bit of blood from you every day?
Perhaps. I mean, you don't know what's going on. She's sucking the life out of you if it's happening. So you need to be there for a full year for her to get all of your life force. I don't know. Insanity. This is a kooky one.
You're welcome.
This is a kooky. I don't know where you find this stuff. This one's nuts.
Yeah, so there you go. But, it could be a thing. So you never know. If you're looking to make some easy money, you have nowhere to stay, you have a roof over your head, people bring you food, you get to read, educate yourself. Maybe, if you haven't graduated high school or if you haven't graduated college, you could take some courses.
Right.
It's like being in prison. And you get your time.
Lord,
and no one to tell you what to do.
I could just move up in the hills and live in a shanty and not have to stare
but
at a
you're not
woman
going to get the cash
365
on
days.
hand.
But she's dead in a glass case and you can see her face.
Okay.
That's
not
creepy.
anymore because it's probably just skeletonized now. So you're good.
Boy.
The thing is that if you walked in there and she looked exactly how she looked when she died, then you're screwed.
Yeah. What if her eyes follow you around?
Have to leave.
Picture that.
You're done. You're done there.
Like, what if you see her in all the mirrors when you're looking around and she starts talking to you?
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's like sensory deprivation. Weird shit happens.
Now I'm rethinking this situation. Maybe it's not such a good idea. I was kind of for it when I read it. I was kind of for this.
I would be down for a tour.
They have tours,
but
so you can go.
I would go in there. I'd hang out.
Inside,
maybe have lunch.
You can't go inside.
You could bribe somebody, I'm sure. You could talk to him, chat him up.
This isn't funny, but I thought it was interesting is that her maiden name was Stroganoff.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's bad.
That's just it just struck me funny. So.
This is what happens when you give women an unlimited amount of money and you don't pay attention to them. This is the result.
No, we would have spent it all. What are you talking about?
She didn't have enough time. She was dead by the time she was 40.
That's unfortunate.
See? She's like, I got to spend this money. I want someone to hang out with me. Let's make a little bet because I'm a little loosey-goosey. Let's give it a shot. Was it in her will? Or did somebody say, hey, this is a good idea? Maybe her family member said, she never found a good person while she was alive. Let's do this whole thing to maybe find her a good person.
Well,
yeah.
It It was
what if he's in there?
It was in her will. And then the newspapers picked it up and started sending it all over, even across over here. And they were letters.
2 interviews. Wow. I want to have an interview with the guy that is on retainer to deliver the meals. And I want to have an interview with some of the people that stayed the night.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they're still alive. Because this story isn't very well known. I mean, unless you go there and you want to take a tour of the ground, the cemetery,
So
no one really knows.
Nobody's done it in the modern age.
Yeah, no. Well, let's see. No,
see, people were crazy back there anyway.
The last applicant to request permission to stay in the tomb was in 1984, and he was denied. I wonder why he was denied. Yeah.
He was denied?
I don't know why, but he was denied.
Maybe because they didn't have the guy to make the meals. Change out the party.
Yeah, 1984. Weird, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
No for you.
I mean, I volunteer you.
I would talk her ear off.
You probably would. She'd be like, get her out of here. I need a break.
Really, though.
Well, I'm going to take a hard pass on that one.
Well, now you guys know that there is such a thing, and you can put in your application, mail it to the cemetery, and they will either let you come in or they'll deny you. So either way, it's 1 year of hard-earned cash. And good luck to any of you that decide to let us know how it goes.
And if you, call me up and let me know how it's going. When you go on your stroll, shoot me an email. Let me know what's popping.
All right, you guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon.
See you guys.